welcome to the FutureDDS Dental School Experience Series, where we help you decide which dental school is right for you. Every school is unique and will give you a different experience, and who better than to tell you that experience than the student that goes to that dental school. Our goal is to give you firsthand perspective of all the dental schools across America and ultimately help your decision in which dental school is right for you. Today, we'll be showcasing Tiffany Chung from Stony Brook University. She's a first-year student, and actually, I'll allow her to introduce herself. Thank you, and welcome, and thank you for joining us.
Well, thanks for having me, Terrell. It's great to be here. Hi, everyone. I'm Tiffany. I'm a D1 at Stony Brook University School of Dental Medicine. I guess I'll start by telling you a little bit about myself. I grew up in New York, Long Island. I'm a New York born and bred, haven't left the state. I went to college at New York University, College of Arts and Sciences, and I majored in biology. And I guess I really just spent my entire life doing sciences and really just volunteering and helping people in like the healthcare industry. So I guess that's really where I started my journey in dentistry. So yeah, that's me.
Cool. Well, again, thank you. Welcome. I guess could you tell us a little bit about Stony Brook? I guess exactly where it's located. How is that city in comparison to where you're from? I mean, you're from New York, so I guess it's not too much different, but
so it's pretty different compared to NYU, because NYU is a city, such a big place with over 10,000 undergraduates. It's such a crazy change going to Stony Brook because it's located way out in eastern Long Island. We're practically on the beach on the North Shore. We have 46 kids in our class this upcoming year, for this year. The last year's class was 44, so we upped it by 2 people. Ooh,
there we go.
So it's a pretty small class, but I like it because I honestly really enjoy all of my classmates. Some people might be pretty nervous about that, and I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty nervous about that, because what if I didn't like them? What if we all just didn't get along? I mean, it's inevitable that we'll have cliques, but you'll eventually find your place. I mean, it's been 7 months of school so far in my first year, and it's been pretty great so far.
That's awesome. So yeah. I guess you seem to like New York a lot. Was that one of the big decisions that played into you choosing your school? What were some of the things that you were looking at when you were applying, and that ultimately led to your decision to go there?
So it was a really huge factor in which school I chose, because Stony Brook is a state school. So therefore it'd have in-state tuition, meaning it'd be a lot cheaper going to Stony Brook versus the other schools that I applied to and had gotten accepted to. Stony Brook was my first choice for that reason. It was just financially, it made sense for me. But also it's a really strong curriculum in terms of clinical experiences. A lot of our 4th year students recently just got matched into their residency, and 100% of them got first choice.
Wow.
So that's really impressive, and that was another reason I wanted to go to Stony Brook.
Awesome. Sounds good. I guess if you can remember back, it hasn't been too long for you, but how was that interview process for you, the application process and interview process specifically at Stony Brook?
I remember it like it was yesterday. I'm so sorry to cut you off. It was when I got the letter to interview, I screamed. I was at work that day. I stopped everything I was doing. I saw the email. I'm like, oh my gosh. And my heart was palpitating, and I was so excited. It was actually on Halloween, back in 2018. Not 2018, 2017, I guess, right? That would be the cycle. And it was honestly a really relaxing day. I think because it was my first choice school and it was my second interview, overall. I think I was just really excited, and I had good vibes going into it because that's where I wanted to be. Yeah. But it was only 5 people in that interview round. So you're with 5 other people, and you're just in a small room, when you're first sitting there, and then they bring you to a conference room. So they show you the whole, general breakdown of welcome to our school, congratulations for getting interviewed. This is the financial aid process. And then we went to second year students, showed us around the entire school, gave us a tour around like clinic and like where we would go. And during that that walkthrough, we actually spent maybe like 45 minutes, half an hour, maybe sitting or standing, kind of like shadowing almost a faculty member and a fourth year student, which was really cool because you could really see yourself. You're like, oh, what if I get in? This is like what I'm going to be doing in the next couple of years. And that's so close. So it was really cool because you got to interact and you got to ask questions. And I feel like, at least compared to my other interviews, Stony Brook was the only school that actually like let you stay in clinic for even a short amount of time. So I thought that was a really cool part of the interview. And that was actually my favorite part, to be honest.
Nice.
Yeah.
So once you actually got into Stony Brook, how was that transition heading into that first year, I guess, class-wise, and just moving? You say you're from Long Island, so I guess,
Yeah, so moving in terms of finding a house, it was pretty easy for me. I'm lucky enough to have a family that has like a minivan and I can just like move all my stuff because I had it from my apartment in the city. So that wasn't too hard. Most of the students actually live around campus, not really on campus. Some students live on campus and it's fine, it works for them. But you do need a car out here, which is the only like difference from city life versus suburban life. But honestly, 15-minute drives is really not a big deal. So that's in like living. In terms of school, it was honestly pretty easy as well because we have big little systems. I don't know if Tufts has that.
Yeah, some similar.
Yeah, so especially with being in a school with 46 kids per class, you all get pretty close. So you all kind of like become each other's brothers and sisters, even if you don't really like your big, or I don't know. You have room to kind of spread out, and it's really nice to have a big who you're close to. But even if you're not, there's so many other people you can ask for help and go to for help. So transitioning into academics, it was pretty easy. They give you all the right resources. They really hold your hand and like support you and walk you through the entire process of like dental school, and they're just really warm and welcoming about it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So what does like a typical day at Stony Brook look like for a first year?
So first year students, we we live in the medical school practically. It's called the Learn curriculum. So we take a lot of our practically all of our basic sciences with the medical students. It's the medical classes are nice because they start at 10 and they end at 3. Some classes, they're mandatory, but some classes are optional. So for example, during my first semester, we don't really go by a semester system, it's kind of in blocks. So I took anatomy and biochemistry, and those are both mandatory, but they were like, I don't even want to say easy classes. They were just easy to manage, I suppose, because it was just like, what's on the PowerPoint, that's what you need to know. You just need to know how to organize your time, and you're going to study what you're going to study on that day. But for other classes such as like immunology, we call it basic mechanisms of diseases and pathogens, hosts, and defenses. Those classes, there are a couple of classes that are mandatory, but a lot of it is really like, if you choose to go to lecture, then you go to lecture, but if you don't, no one's really, counting on it. Yeah, which is kind of great because you have a lot of freedom to either, well, if you want to go to the gym in the morning, you can go to the gym, and then you can study for like hour blocks if you want. But now, come in March, you're done with medical school, so now you go into all the dental school classes, and those are all mandatory, which you should go to anyways because it's what you're going to be doing for the next 4 years of your life. So yeah, that's pretty much, it's usually like an 8 to 4 for dental school.
Got you. So I guess we all know how like hectic that schedule can be. I mean, you got a little bit of leeway with the schedule there.
Yeah.
But how do you kind of manage your stress levels, and does the school kind of help you? Do they have any systems in place to help you with managing stress as a student?
So personally, I hate to admit it, I really don't handle stress well.
Okay.
But I found things that made me happy that I could like clear my mind with and like step away from school. And I think that's a really important thing to do when you're in like graduate school, dental school, medical school, just any professional school. so for me, going to the gym is what I do in my free time, even if it's just like an hour of my day, or like going for a walk around the block. Just like I can't take a break from like your study material and just do something else that's not mentally exhausting. In terms of like, does the school have any like way to help you? We have psychologists, but I wouldn't really say that people go to them.
Okay.
You know, I just kind of feel like you need to find like for people who like need help handling stress, like just find something that makes you happy and that sticks with you and that like kind of lets you free your mind from like the stress.
Got you.
So, yeah.
So for the most part, everybody that's in dental school kind of wants to go into the clinical field and, be a clinician, practitioner, stuff like that. So how do you feel, or I guess like, I don't know if you've been in clinic too much, but
Mm-hmm.
how has that clinical aspect been so far for you? Like, are you guys in clinic? You guys have to shadow early? And what's the schedule kind of breakdown for that from first year to fourth year?
So for our first year, as I said before, we were in medical school pretty much from August to March. So unfortunately, we didn't get a lot of clinical experience as of yet. The only like dental school class that we have done is called dental morphology, and we did waxing, like a lot of wax ups of teeth.
Mm-hmm.
So that is kind of the only hand skills we have as of yet. I know it's a lot different compared to other schools like NYU. I know like a couple of my friends have started drilling already and have like a bunch and Tufts.
Yeah.
So that is the one thing about Stony Brook that we don't do during our first year. But a lot of our students are prepared very well for the NBBE1, and we have a very high like pass rate.
Okay.
So I think that's what they try to do. They kind of try to get all the academics out in one block, and then during second, third, and fourth year, it's pretty clinic heavy. We have like the vertical model at our school, so the second years will maybe like assist and shadow on like a D3 or D4 or even like a faculty member or a resident, and there are a lot of opportunities to do that. For graduation, the fourth and third years, they have a lot of clinical requirements. Like I know one of my friends who goes here, she's also on Instagram, and she is like complaining that she's worried that she won't be able to finish her requirements. But I feel like that's like every fourth year. Yeah, like I think she has to do like 30 crowns, like 16 dentures. Like it's crazy. I don't even know what it is like that well, to be honest. But
Got you. But it's very like clinic intensive.
It is very clinic intensive. Definitely not first year, but anyone who's applying to Sony, I don't think they need to be worried about, well, do I have enough experience? Because you will.
Okay. All right. So I just segueing into, I guess, wrapping the interview up. Are there any very unique things about Stony Brook that you would never want to change? Like, what are a few things that you just like fell in love with, or some things like, again, that you would never want to change about Stony Brook?
I don't think that I would want to change the class size. I think that it's perfect for those who want a solid student to faculty ratio. I think it's great for those who are not really into the whole big school environment, because I feel like some people get lost and maybe feel alone or whatnot, because it feels like a massive fraternity or sorority. Like you're all family and you all help out one another. No one here, at least in my class, is really cutthroat. There are going to be those people who are just naturally smarter, and like that's at every school.
Right.
But for the most part, everyone is really helpful, and just it's a great school. And the Big Little system, I love it. I love my Big. Shout out to Maggie if she watches this. It's just a really great system going on here.
Awesome. So just to wrap up, what are some last words of advice that you want to give our viewers? Not necessarily anybody that's applying to Stony Brook. Well, actually, specifically people that are applying to Stony Brook. What are some advice that you would give them to work on now so that they're successful in applying to school, and then successful once they get in?
So when I applied to Stony Brook, I took a gap year. It's not required. I think a gap year is a great idea for anyone applying to dental school in general or even medical school. It really lets you know do you really want to do this? Because honestly, dental school is a huge financial investment. You need to know if you want to do this. Like, you can't just drop 500K or 250K on something that, oh, I don't know if I want to do this. So definitely shadow. It would be best if you could work as a dental assistant. I know you have to get certified to be one, but if you're lucky enough to have a boss that would just let you like work around the office and really like give you the hands-on experience, that would be the best thing to do. I was a dental assistant for 3 years, so I think that was honestly the main reason I got accepted into Stony Brook, because it showed that I was passionate and it showed that I really loved the field. Because honestly, if you don't like the field, why would you spend 3 years there?
Yeah.
So that is my one piece of advice for those who really want to go to Stony Brook and want to apply here. In terms of the application process, trust the process. I didn't get accepted until maybe like January 2nd. I interviewed October 31st, and I didn't hear back until January 2nd. So I didn't think I got in. I had already actually paid my deposit for another school, and then they said, congratulations, you're accepted. So just be patient, and whatever happens, and you're meant to be where you're meant to be. And apply early. I can't even stress that enough, because I feel like I know so many people who are overqualified for dental school, but because they didn't apply early enough in the cycle, or they just, waited too long, like they didn't get in. And it really is unfortunate.
Man, great advice. Great advice.
Yeah.
I would definitely advise the same thing. Apply early. You'll have a way better chance of getting it than
yeah.
Yeah. So I guess if you wouldn't mind, could you share your social media handle or any way that people can get in touch with you and ask you any questions about Stony Brook or about your kind of dental school journey so far?
Yeah, definitely. I'm totally happy to answer any questions that anyone might have about Stony Brook or just applying. My Instagram handle is @tiffs.teeth, so TIFFS.teeth. Yeah, shoot me a DM if you have any questions.
Man, awesome. Well, again, on behalf of FutureDDS and all of the subscribers watching right now, I'd like to thank you for taking some time out, giving us that great insight on Stony Brook and dental school experience so far. Best of luck to you heading forward, heading into your second year. You're coming up on the end of your first year now, heading into your second year in the rest of your journey. But for everyone out there, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button, the subscribe button, and notification bell, so you know whenever we post up new content, and keep on tapping into the series, because we're going to be going through all the dental schools and give you great advice and great perspectives that'll help you make the right decision on which dental school is good for you. But that's going to be it. See you guys next time.
Bye.